Because sometimes we get those PAs that need a PA, you know what I mean? A PA that needs a PA is a musibah, that's not a PA, that's a nonsense. You've got to get someone who organizes your life. I know I have more time to think, I have more time to sleep, I have more time for that which is important, because those things that are lesser important in my life are taken care of by my PAs. So get a PA. You can all afford it. You afforded a $10,000 package. I'm sure you can afford $2,000 to $3,000 per year for a PA, a part-time PA. Full-time, part-time, 2 hours a day, more than enough. What is that PA going to do? Those things that waste your time. Can you please check flights? I need to go to Kuala Lumpur tomorrow. You just get it done. She knows you like window seat, and after that you like your nasi lemak. She will order that bloody nasi lemak from AirAsia, and she knows you like your drinks after she knows it's a cold Coke. It's a Diet Coke. She knows it. Do you understand? She's already pre-ordered it because she knows you probably forgot to have ringgit in your account, because Malaysia, AirAsia doesn't accept credit cards. Do you understand? They're women. They just remember these things. They're from Venus. So it's entirely possible they remember and you forget. So use your PAs to do those things that are regularly confusing you and taking time away. Yeah? I'm telling you, if you do that, you'll be organized. I also use a lot of technology. I use phones that have dual SIM cards. I have a lot of technology that I use. I have conferencing facilities on my phone. I use stuff that always helps me. I'll always have an iPad with me so that I can quickly use it for all things that I need. So use technology to make your life easier. In Malaysia, alhamdulillah, for blessings in Malaysia, it's not very costly for human resource. So I also have a driver there. It saves me 2 to 3 hours. I can at least sleep in my car or think. And those important meetings, as I'm going back home, quickly finish them off. Last few phone calls in that half-an-hour drive from my office back to home. Does that make sense? Guys, you've got to get someone to help your life. The Prophet ﷺ had Ibn Abbas, right guys? He also had Anas, correct? Anas bin Malik was a servant of the Prophet ﷺ, helping the Prophet do things. What was Anas doing? Go and get the water so that he could pour the water on the Prophet when he was wanting to do wudu. It would be so much time wasted if the Prophet had to go and find the water and then bring it back. And then, you understand? You've got to find someone to help you in your life. It doesn't matter whether you're a big CEO or you are just a human being. You have to find someone to help you. Sisters as well. Find someone to help you. My wife has 2 helpers. She has 2 helpers. She needs it. But also that gives her time to think. And at least do those things that make her love with her husband stronger, right? But if she was so busy mopping the floor, cleaning the bathroom, then cooking the food, then changing the diapers, and then making sure that their homework is done, that would destroy her. So get help, guys. Get help. Spend your money wisely, get a PA. Okay, guys? Many of you told me, say, Sheikh, when I go back, I spend a lot of time with my friends and they take me away from Allah. I really want you to change your friends when you go back. Please. Your friends may be good, yes. Some are probably good friends because that's what brought you here to Hajj. But it's time to get a better group of friends. Do you know, if I wanted to know how much money our brother Ayat has, I look at 10 of his friends, look at their net wealth and divide it by 10, and I can say that's roughly the wealth of brother Ayat. We tend to hang around people of the similar financial ability, correct? In the same way, we tend to hang around people of the same Islamic knowledge as well, by the way. The number of hadith, number of surahs they know is roughly the same across all the 10 friends. So if you want to increase wealth, if you want to increase Islamic knowledge, then find a better group of friends, a better, wealthier group of friends if it's money or networks, right? And if it's Islamic knowledge, a more knowledgeable group of friends. Correct, guys? And that's how you change. That's how I changed. I came to Medina and said, I'm not going to take my group of friends. My new friends are going to be students of knowledge, ulama of Islam. Suddenly within a year, I knew more hadith, I knew more ayat, I knew more. Right, guys? I want you to actively change your group of friends. I'm not saying, say, ma'asalama, see you later, bye-bye. No, but I'm actively saying, actively seek out a new bunch of friends that are more righteous, that are harder working for Islam, that have akhirah as their focus, and you watch, they will take you to your regular salah. They will rendezvous at the masjid on the Sunday, from which you will listen to on top, from which your life will become better. They are the ones who will show you how to get involved in da'wah projects. Automatically, just because you're friends, right? And a Muslim miratu akhi, right? A Muslim is the mirror example of his brother. And so as a result, you will only reflect what your friend has. You are upon the deen of khalilihi. You are upon the religion of your friends. You've got to change your friends, guys. Please don't go back to your old friends. If you do that, I guarantee you next year you will not have changed. But if you take a better group of friends, I guarantee you, by hook or crook, you will change. You will change. Okay? Yeah? Change. And actively seek that out. And you will find something very interesting. One thing I found is, as I move city and country every time, is I've always found new group of friends. New bunch of friends. I lived initially in Melbourne. From there, I'll move to Medina. From there, I moved back to Melbourne. From there, I moved to Gold Coast. From Gold Coast down Malaysia. And every place I found a new group of friends online. My wife has also made new best friends again as well. And better quality every single time. So please, find a new group of friends and you will all change, inshallah. Now, many of you, and this is number 8, we're coming to the last 3. Many of you have said, Ya Sheikh, I want to become valuable to Islam. Yeah, I want to become valuable to Allah, but I don't know how to get started. I want you to join a da'wah organization. They're already going somewhere. Join Islamic Relief, join Muslim Aid, join Mercy Mission, join me. Come, let's work together. Find a project that you like. Get involved in it. Put your hand up and say, listen, I want to be the manager, I want to be fundraising coordinator, I want to be something or the other in that project. Get involved. Get involved. And a project that you like. If you like education, get involved. We're building schools. If you like social services, get involved. We do National Zakat Foundation. I'm the chairman of it. If you like orphans, like looking after orphans and feeding the poor, get involved. Alhamdulillah, we have 14,000 children, orphans that we look after around the world in charity right and Mercy Mission. Get involved. It's very rewarding, Allah. Very rewarding. That's why, for me, my dua at Arafat is, Ya Allah, bless me not just because of me, but because of the people that I'm responsible over. If you destroy me, then who will look after these kids? If you don't give me wealth, who will look after them? If you bankrupt me, who will pay for them, Ya Rab? Don't bankrupt me, Ya Rab. Don't destroy me. Give me success in my business. Give me success in my life. Do you understand? It gives you something to make dua for, right guys? Something to make dua for. What did the Prophet say in Battle of Badr? He said, oh Allah, if these group of 300 are to be destroyed today, who is there that will fight your battles, oh Allah? Who is there that will worship you? So you have something to call upon Allah for. SubhanAllah. And the dua that happens together, the friendships that happen together, last and for a lifetime. So get involved in a da'wah organization. There's some very, very good da'wah organizations around the world. And we are also a very good one in Mercy Mission. Get involved, find out, catch me before I leave. Or go to an organization that you've been already working with and get involved more deeply. Knock on their doors and say, listen, I want to get involved in a more deeper way, inshallah. And have sabr with the problems that you see, and inshallah improve what you can, inshallah. But this will actually change your life. It will give you something to do after hours, it will give you something to do on the weekends. And inshallah ta'ala, it will give you holidays away, right? I know Dr. Naeem, for example, Islam. He's a friend of mine from Sydney. He's a pediatric surgeon, now he's a GP in Sydney. He came to Melbourne, he came to Sydney. He's a doctor, right? He's a GP now. He runs his own GP clinic. Yet, mashallah, he's a charity right director, so involved, every year raising hundreds of thousands of dollars in order to give away, mashallah. So fulfilling his life is. So fulfilling his life is. And then he actually takes some of that money and actually gives it to the poor. He goes off regularly to Rohingyas and gives it away to them. Do something great, guys. Change your life. Get involved in the organization. For every single one of you, stop being just a housewife sisters. Really. There's nothing wrong with it, by the way. But you are full of value. You are full of energy. You're full of capacity and potential. So be more than just that, inshallah. Don't leave your life to just be a housewife for your husband. Your husband will also be with you in that da'wah, inshallah. So I know every single time I see my wife getting edgy, I say something's wrong. What's wrong? She's got too much time on her hands. If she's got too much time on her hands, she's going to busy her time with my affairs. I don't want that to happen, so I get her involved. What did I do? I got her involved in the school. I made her, something coordinator, safeguarding coordinator in the school. So mashallah, she's a very homely person, very, very motherly person. She has kids from teenagers to little babies. So as a result, she was very good as a safeguarding coordinator for the school. So get involved somewhere, the other guys. Sisters in Islam, if your kids have become elderly now, it's time to get a degree. Time to study again. Study what? Sheikh, I'm too old. No. Become a teacher. You've now raised your children. MashaAllah, fantastic job. Now you need to become a teacher. You know how many kids we have? By 2030, it is projected that we will have no less than 550 million Muslim children of school-going age around the world in the Muslim Ummah. 550 million. So it's time to become teachers. Yeah? It's time to become teachers. Guys, I've got a classroom of my own. I've got 8 kids. That'll fill up half a classroom, right? Half a classroom already in one family. Each one of us has 3 kids. In every 10 families, at least one teacher. So you need brothers and sisters in Islam. If you're finished or you had a profession before, now you're not doing much, time to become a teacher. Okay? Time to become a teacher. Get yourself busy. Get yourself busy. And you know, sometimes I see sisters being so effective, then they get married, and the brother as well. I say, brother, what happened? You put on weight? Oh, brother, I got married. So what, marriage is an excuse for getting fat? And also they say, what sister, what happened to you? You were such a strong team member of that project. She got married. What, just marriage makes you a flat tire? We don't need that sort of marriage. We want the marriage that makes you a strong horse, a strong stallion. Okay? So please get involved. Get involved and do something with your life. Yes. And number 9. Akhwani, you know, when we make dua to Allah, we are all seeking, because of this, give me this, right? We're all seeking some reason for which Allah should answer our dua. Each one of us. Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he said in his book, he said, Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah said, so you interrupted me now, I'm lost. La ilaha illallah. Khalas. Tell me what Ibn Taymiyyah said. Ibn Taymiyyah said it is obligatory on every Muslim to have a secret deed between him and Allah every day. One day. That the whole world does not know. No one knows except you and Allah. Something secret. Can you think of something you can do that even your husband will not know? Can you think of something? Well, that's hard, right? It's hard because that husband of mine is a light sleeper. I don't have a husband, but you know, my wife's a light sleeper, mushkil. When I used to snore a lot, she was a heavy sleeper. She had to be. You know, it was essential. She couldn't sleep otherwise for the last 19 years of her life. But subhanAllah, now she's a light sleeper. It's a mushkil. If I get up and pray at night, she's going to realize I'm going to have to put some drugs in the food. But I have to figure out some secret deed between me and Allah every single day that no one knows. Perhaps it's an orphan that you have. No one knows. Don't you ever let it out. Don't you ever, even like in your days of speaking to a sheikh, I'm doing this. Nothing ever. No one should know except you and Allah. I want to tell you about a sister called Zubaydah. Guys, did you see how hard Arafat was? Imagine if there was no water. Madness, right? So Zubaydah, she was the wife of Harun al-Rashid. Zubaydah came for Hajj, this Arafat that we all were at. She saw Hujjaj had no water. She came from Baghdad. So she had a tributary canal that all the way from Baghdad, all the way to the plains of Arafat. Can you believe? to provide water for the Hujjaj. So all the Hujjaj made dua for Zubaydah. Who else would you make water for? Right? Zubaydah died one day. And everyone will die. They will all die. And her friends and family saw Zubaydah in their dream and said, what did Allah do with you? He said, Allah forgave me. He said, was it because of that canal that you had dug all the way from Baghdad, from which you gave water to drink? He said, no, Allah didn't accept that. He said, I didn't accept that. He said, then why did Allah forgive you? He said, because of 2 rak'ahs that I used to pray at the depths of the night when Harun al-Rashid, my husband, didn't even know. I quietly sneak up out of bed, quietly make wudu, quietly seek it. And the husband never knew. Can you think of 2 rak'ahs? Can you think of something you can do secret that no one in the world will ever find out? Can you do that? Inshallah, yes? Inshallah. Inshallah. Think of the secret deed between you and Allah. No one must ever know. No one must ever know. And even that person you're doing the deed to must never know. And that's why Umar ibn Khattab anhu used to cover his face even once he was the Khalifa and go and help a blind woman. And when he went to the blind woman, he knew she was blind, so he took his face covered off. So one of the Sahabi was passing by, recognized it was Umar. Umar had taken the face cover off because it was a blind woman. So why would you keep your face covered with a blind woman? So as he was cleaning her house, you know what she said? She said, Wallah, you should be the Khalifa instead of Umar. Wallah, you should be Wallah, you should be the Khalifa instead of Umar. You take care of me better than Umar takes care of me. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Salam. Even at that time, they used to cover their face up. Why, Ya Umar? After looking after the Ummah like this, do you still do this for himself, not for her? He is doing it for him. This Hajj, you think I came for you? I'm sorry, I came for myself. This lecture is not for you, it's for me. Do you know what I mean? Every good deed has to be for you first. For you to fix yourself before you're trying to do good to others. Yes? This food you give to the poor, it's not really for him, it's for you to feel good. For your dua to be accepted, for you to answer your promise to Allah. So secret deed. Okay? Every day, I want you to think of something. I guarantee you, that is more beloved to Allah than anything else. Correct? You know the secret whisperings you say to your wife in the bed that she loves a lot? Well, that is what keeps your marriage alive. I'm telling you now. That's what keeps your marriage alive. Nothing else. Even if you lost all your money, even if you became paralyzed, your wife will still love you because of some secret thing that you tell her in her ear that no one else knows. Imagine that's to our wife. Imagine to Allah Rabbul Alameen. Something secret. That's what's going to keep the Hablul Warid, right? That's what's going to keep that firm rope connecting you with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the divine name. Finally, my brothers and sisters in Islam, my final advice to my Hujjaj is, guys, haven't we really enjoyed ibadah? Despite the difficulty and the sourness, wallah, it was great. It was great, the du'as, right guys? It was great, man. Tawafs, my legs are really burning. Wallah, that was really, really pleasurable after I did it, yeah? The Tahajjud was hard, but you know what? I think I'm beginning to like it. You know, I don't think I made that much difference in my life. That little thing that I start keeping on pressing, that's becoming addictive. Isn't it? Becoming addictive. Where the hell is that thing? It's like I can't even go out without it anymore. I need that, I need my wallet, I need my phone, and I need my tasbih. Yes? I leave my house with 3 things or 4 things all the time. I have my wallet, I have my phone, I have my tasbih, so that I can always make dhikr, and then I have my tasbih, so that I can always feel fresh in my mouth. Whether I want to eat food, I want to read Quran, I want to kiss my wife, right? I want to feel fresh in my mouth. And that's it. Get in Fall in love with your ibadah again. The small things that we do, our ibadah of salah is coming every day. Fajr, I don't think many of us have prayed in congregation Fajr that many times in our life, right? When you go for Makkah, you're going to fall in love with another salah. You know what that is? It's the salah upon the mayyit. Yeah, because after every prayer, someone's dying. Even if they didn't die here, they died in Jeddah, they still take their body here, right? So at the end of the day, someone died all the time. So you can say, Allahu Akbar, Allah. You fall in love with the salah al-mayyit. Fall in love with the ibadah, guys. Really. And the only way to fall in love with something is to do that thing that many times. Wallahi, my mom's food isn't the best, but I love it, Allah. And when I don't get it, I miss it. And when I eat it, my mom's food again. And then I eat something, I say, oh my God, that tastes like my mom's cooking. Don't we have that expression? Yeah. So the only way that became a part and parcel of my heart, is because I tried it so many times until it became a part of my genes. Right? And that's why Allah tells us in the Quran, كُلَّمَا عُيدُوا فِيهَا كُلَّمَا رُزِقُوا مِنْهَا قَالُوا هَذَا الَّذِي رُزِقْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِ. Every single time they give in something, they say, this tastes like something we had once we were alive in the world. Right? Because of how many times we tasted it and how Allah gives us what we already recognize. So my friends, my brothers and sisters, Islam, fall in love with ibadah. Fall in love with it. And if it's hard, just do it more. That's what I have learned. Do you know how to get rid of riyah? It's to do it more. How do you get rid of disliking something? It's to do it more. Right? It's not to do it less, it's to do it more until you love it. So the more you hate something, do it more. Quran, it's hard, just read it more. Qiyamul Layl, it's hard, 2 rak'ah, that's it, I'm praying 4. I don't care, I'm going to trade my body and my heart to love it. The dhikr, it's making you forget, I'm going to do more. And use your phones for reminders. My phone reminds me always, half an hour before sunset, this is more important to remember Allah than to remember the dunya. So stop everything, remember Allah. Right? And after Fajr. So fall in love with your ibadah once again, guys, inshallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this a means for us to Jazakallah khair. These are just some practical advices I thought I would have for you. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all, to forgive us, to accept our Hajj. Forgive me, guys, for any excesses, any rude jokes. I tend to joke a little bit, and sometimes I get a bit direct, but inshallah it's alright. Inshallah, if I called you auntie, it's because, first of all, you are an auntie to somebody, even if you're not an auntie to me, but it's just out of manners. If I called you fat, I actually never called anybody fat. If I called you old, actually never called anybody old, so don't you dare say that. If I called you unhealthy, you were unhealthy. But whatever advice I gave from my heart, inshallah. And I hope that inshallah ta'ala you genuinely enjoyed your Hajj and you were able to do it. So just one second. Let me just quickly remind you all the 10 things I told you all today. Okay? First thing I told you all is find out something that is stopping your dua from being accepted. Correct? Make sure that you work on removing that thing that is stopping your dua from being accepted. Number 2, I said to focus on Islamic knowledge. Remember that? Have a good library, focus on Islamic knowledge. Number 3, I said to love your wife and love your husband. Do everything possible, buy gifts, buy presents, make it a memorable time. Yeah? Do what you can to rekindle the love between you and your wife and your husband. Number 4, I said stop blaming your children, start learning from them. Start blaming yourself. For every fault of theirs is your fault as a parent. Every fault of the student is your fault as a teacher. Number 5, I said to start a new relationship with Makkah and Medina. Yes? Regularly. Just pop over. Don't make it a big deal. Like I'm going to bring the whole family over and stay in a big fat Raffles hotel. And, yeah, man. When I come over, I take a tiny hotel. I don't even book my hotel. I just know I got my visa. I'm just coming. I come here. I know I'll find some hotel. find a small hotel, stay there 2 days. I don't even know which day I want to go to Medina. I'll see how many days I like it. I know in 5 days maximum. I know which day I'm leaving back. And then 1 day, 2 days later, I go to Medina. I feel really, really happy. You know, they say that when you come to Makkah, you feel like this is the land of a king. When you see everyone prostrating to Allah, especially when you see everyone, you know, in the haram. And when you go to Medina, you feel like you're going to your mother's lap. Ummi, my ummi, my ummi. Right? Your ummi, your mother hugs you. Wallahi, you go to Medina, you feel like that. I remember when I left Medina, for about 2 years, I didn't go back. So my sheikh said, why do you always come for Umrah, you don't go back? I said, because I can't bear it. Can't bear going back. Because I spent the best days of my life in Medina. I know the streets. I know where my kids were born, where my kids played. We would sit outside and have iftar, where my kids ran. Slowly, I'm going back, inshallah. Even now, I can't wait to go back. That's why I go back. I go back before I go to Medina. If I'm going to go to Medina, I'm going to stay there. Ain't leaving. I'm not leaving. Right, to start a new relationship with Makkah and Medina, inshallah. The next 6th thing I told you was to organize your life. Get someone to help you to organize your life, right? Get a personal assistant. 7th thing I told you, change your friends. Change your circle of friends. This is very critical. Yeah? And get better group of friends. Number 8 I told you is get attached to some dawah organization. It will bring you into good. And you will start not living for yourself, you will start living for others. Your value is by how much other people's life you add value to. Yeah? Your value is by the value by your value to humanity and to human beings. Number 9, I told you to start a secret deal between you and Allah. Yes? And number 10, I asked you to fall in love with personal ibadah and with self-reflection. إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض. Fall in love with wilderness. Go out. You know, one of the things I like to do is I like to take locums in the most amazing parts of Australia. Australia is so blessed. One of the reasons I do it is to get away from my children and my family, but also one of the reasons I do it is so that I can actually, in the wilderness, on the beach, in the Grampians and other places, I get to just see the wilderness and think about Allah, and the day I will be alone with Him in the grave, which will seem like an eternity. Yeah? Guys, finally, you know, Imam Ahmed rahimahullah, he said, Ya Imam, why don't you like to meet people? They asked him, Ya Imam, why don't you like to meet people? He said, because it is so hard to leave them. And so, Jazakallah khair, it's going to be very hard to leave you all. But I hope, inshallah ta'ala, this is a start of a friendship. Many of you don't live in my city. You're from around the world, different countries, Singapore, Malaysia, another country called Perth. You know, so you're, it's exactly that's how we feel, isn't it? Melbourne, Sydney, even Melbourne and Sydney feels like different countries, subhanAllah, sometimes. But inshallah, become friends and keep in touch. And perhaps, inshallah ta'ala, our paths will cross in this life. But definitely, inshallah, I'm sure it will cross again in the akhirah, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. And I ask Allah to bless you all. If you have any questions, I'll take it now, inshallah. Otherwise, assalamu alaikum.
Just more on that personal one, because my wife yesterday, I thank her a lot.
Oh, yes.
When I'm missing a shirt, but the shirt is important because she comes from my bed. Over there, so it's over here for her, but she has to buy another one. I'm sure somebody is taking by mistake. And please go back to your clothes and see if it's fine.
So guys, yeah, our brother mentioned this yesterday. It seems that when people are washing their clothes, sometimes people are taking the different things. It can be an issue of confusion. I'm sure no one wants to, come to Makkah, Medina and steal. But if it has happened, please, if you don't mind, check through your clothes once again. Did you take someone else's shawl? Did you take someone else's head covering? Did you take someone else's shirt or thobe? Please, if you have, return it. This is the haram, as you know. So it is serious, but also it's also annoying because a lot of people have brought their clothes and they haven't brought enough. And already, when you move to the hotels, washing is a problem and ironing is a problem. So please, if you don't mind, can everyone, especially the sisters, look through your clothes again, see if you've taken someone else's clothes by mistake, inshallah. Also, we had, unfortunately, a spate of burglary as well a few days ago, or yesterday. Please keep your doors locked all the time, and just be safe, inshallah. Okay, anyone else have any questions? Also, if you don't mind, don't leave yet. There is a special announcement that Brother Arif wants to make, inshallah, for everybody. So if you don't mind, it's probably about the hotel transfer today, inshallah. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, my tafsir website, so I'm doing a tafsir of the whole Quran in English, and that is called sacredtime.org. Sacredtime.org. One more. Sacredtime.org. So, yes, this is important. Now, guys, this is important. Some people told me that they've gone to Jeddah without doing their farewell tawaf. That's not allowed. You have to do a dam. So people who have gone to Jeddah without doing the farewell, you cannot leave the haram boundary. So you can't just say, oh, I'm going to do another umrah. What do you mean? You can't. To do an umrah, you have to leave the haram boundary. Right? Wherever you do your umrah from, you have to leave the haram boundary. You cannot leave the haram boundary without finishing the tawaf al-wida first. So you'll have to finish your tawaf al-wida, then and only then can you actually leave. Like tomorrow I plan to go to Jeddah, for example. I've got friends there, and I have a brother that died there. So to visit his grave, I'm going to go there. And so before I go, I'm going to finish my tawaf al-wida. Does that make sense? So tawaf al-wida, choose when you're going to do it just before you're about to leave the haram boundary. Are we clear? Are we clear? So even if you're just going to Masjid Aisha, just to see Masjid Aisha, what's this Masjid Aisha? Masjid Aisha is outside the haram boundary, guys. Do not leave the haram boundary until you pray tawaf al-wida. Now, if you have already done it, you must do a slaughtering. If you did not finish, if you left and went to Jeddah, if you went to Jeddah and you did not do your tawaf al-wida first, you must do a slaughtering. Are we clear? Are we clear? There is no difference of ulama on this. All madhabs will say this. All madhabs will say that. You must do tawaf al-wida if you left for Jeddah and you did not do your slaughtering.
What is that?
Sorry? What is that?
Timing for
Makkah never sleeps, so you can do tawaf al-wida a few hours before you're about to go.
So if you are leaving after Friday prayer, can you do it before Friday and after Friday prayer?
Yeah, correct. So if you're leaving at Friday prayer, you want to do it at Fajr time, yeah, that's a good idea because it gets so busy.
If we do it at Friday time, do we have to stay in the haram till?
No, you're already in the haram. Haram is, all of Makkah is haram.
So we can leave after doing Fajr prayer time?
Yeah, you can go back to the hotel, eat food, etc. But you should not sleep that night. You should not go out and do shopping like we're going to now go do shopping. You should have done the shopping beforehand. You can buy small things for the travel, right? Tawaf al-wida needs to be the last thing you do. But because of the fact it's so busy, yeah, and sometimes as you said, Jummah time it fills up like crazy, right? Hours is so busy. You have to time it to do it earlier. Does that make sense? I usually do my tawaf al-wida at least 9 to 12 hours before leaving because it's that busy. 9 to 12 hours before leaving.
Around the Kaaba? No, it's 4 hours.
Sorry?
Just around the Kaaba 7 times.
7 times and then 2
No,
rak'ah.
4 hours.
And then 2 rak'ah. You pray the 2 rak'ah.
Before or after?
Sorry, after.
And not 4 hours.
No Safa Marwa.
Just 7 times.
Just 7 times.
And drink my Zamzam water or not?
It's up to you.
No.
But Zamzam is not part of the
Should we
tawaf.
go after?
2 rak'ah, yes. Okay, 2 rak'ah. Also remember, guys, we're going to Makkah now. In Makkah, we'll be doing extra tawaf, right? So here is what you can do. You can do 7, 14, 21. Umar did 21. Yeah, because Umar did it on a donkey. So the donkey just took him around. Mashallah, at that time there was nobody. So he did 21 circuits and then he prayed 6 rak'ah. 2 for each of the 7, right? Does that make sense? So I want to see who can do 21. Yalla, is anyone up for it?
Only the tawaf.
Sorry?
Only the tawaf.
Only tawaf, yeah. There's no extra sa'i. Extra sa'i is not a ibadah, okay?
And in one,
Sa'i is only part of
one
umrah,
round.
but tawaf.
One shot.
Sorry?
In one start.
No, not one, right? You got to do 7.
No. In one start means you cannot stop. You have to continue.
Once you start, you can't stop. It's a bit like praying 1 rak'ah, right? You got to pray 2. You got to finish your 2 rak'ah. Okay? Yes, go ahead.
Now that the Hajj days are finished, does the prayer result actually normal? And then when you go to Medina, does it?
Yes. So now when you go to Makkah, hold on, guys. We're staying 6 days. I think most of you. So it's more than the 4 days. According to the majority of the ulama, you are now a resident. So you will now pray 4 rak'ahs. But because you'll be praying all your salah behind the imam anyway, so you'll be praying 4 as 4, inshallah. 4 as 4, okay?
And then when you go to Medina, does it get short again?
Medina, I don't know exactly how many days, but of course you'll be praying in the haram. Because in Medina, the Makkah doesn't count. So there's no, like praying in your hotel now is 100,000 salah. In Medina, praying in Oberoi is not 100,000 salah, right? Praying inside the Prophet's masjid is the 1,000 salah. So you will endeavor your best to pray with the imam always. Right. There's one thing I want to tell you, however. There's one thing. People say Makkah salah is better, correct? It is. Because 100,000 over there is 1,000. Yes. But there is something even better about Medina which people don't know about. And that is, the Prophet ﷺ said, Man ja'a ila masjidi hada, whoever comes to my masjid. It's an authentic hadith. Just listen to it. It's mad. It's a mad hadith. Okay? Man ja'a ila masjidi hada, wa ya'ti lil khair, yata'allamuhu aw yu'allimuhu, fahuwa fi manzilatil mujahid fi sabilillah. Whoever comes to my masjid in order to seek knowledge, right? To learn from the sheikhs, or to teach knowledge, right? يَتَعَلَّمُ أَوْ يُعَلِّمُ, either to gain or to give knowledge, then it is as if he is in the level of a fighter in the cause of Allah. And the Prophet said in another authentic hadith, Salah in jihad is 1 million salah. Salah in jihad is 1 million times, even more than praying in Makkah. So our sheikhs used to say, never go to the Prophet's masjid except with a book in your hand. Either you are attending a class, or at least you're going to read something or gain some Islamic knowledge. Ever, 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 don't do that, because your intention is knowledge. Not just salah, but knowledge. When you go to there with the intention of knowledge plus salah, you are in the manzilat al-mujahid. Therefore your salah is no longer 1,000, it's now 1 million times. Beat that. That's why we love Medina. Okay? Medina will not be defeated. The Prophet ﷺ made double the dua for Medina than Ibrahim made for Makkah. And that's why the ulama say even the cats of Medina are better than the cats of Makkah. Even the rats of Medina are better than the rats of Makkah. I don't know how much they are. And I'm just biased. I'm Maliki. No, I'm not. But I'm just saying, Imam Malik used to love Medina more than Makkah. So Medina is better than Makkah. Wallahu ta'ala. Inshallah. Okay. All right. Anyone else have a question?
I just want to...
Yes, Khafti. 1 second. Okay, so when they come back, so people who have gone to Jeddah, they must perform their tawaf al-wida now before leaving, right? When they come back, it's like you're a new person. You're no longer, your Hajj is finished. With tawaf al-wida going to Jeddah, you have finished your Hajj, it's like you have gone back home. No, they don't have to do Umrah. It's like you're a new person now. New travel. You don't have to. Finish, Hajj is finished, khalas. In tawaf al-wida, you've come out of Makkah. You've come out of the haram. If you've come out of the haram, khalas. I heard yesterday some people have left to go to Jeddah without tawaf al-wida. When I heard about it, I got very angry. I said, those people should have learned their deen before doing it. They must have finished the tawaf al-wida before doing it. There's no excuse. You have to do a dam if you haven't done it.
But I'm talking about they are coming back Makkah again.
No problem, auntie. If they can come back, they can come back into Makkah. If they wish, they can start a new umrah, but they'll have to go to the miqat. Jeddah is not your miqat. Jeddah is the miqat for the people of Jeddah.
So without doing umrah, they can stay in Makkah, right?
Yeah, of course. You'll be like business. You're coming for business, visiting family. Every time you come to Makkah doesn't mean you have to do umrah. You can come to Makkah for business. Yeah, but you want to do extra tawaf at that time, you can do extra tawaf. No problem. Okay? Outside, that's correct. That's why. No, I'm just saying if someone goes to Masjid Aisha just to see what's happening, then you've already gone out of the haram, so you must have finished the tawaf al-wida. Guys, don't leave the haram without tawaf al-wida. That's it, simple as that. Just don't go out, okay? Don't go, okay, I'm going to go for a holiday to see the Arafat now. Oi, 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 Arafat is outside the haram. Correct? Yes or no? Don't go for a holiday tour, in Arafat, just to see Jabal Rahma, and then have lack of Rahma now, because you just didn't do your tawaf al-wida. Don't do that. Be careful, be careful, be careful. This is the haram. Be careful, yes. Sorry, say again. Those who went to Jeddah without